Well, I grew up going there to play basketball frequently. A lot of great friends there as I grew up, and I just feel like it was a great place for kids to learn and grow up and be in a safe environment. And you know, what better situation is there for underprivileged kids to be able to get there and have a safe place, get exposed to new things. I just think it's a huge part of our community, and every community needs that. Some people are just not going to be as well off at the beginning of their lives to get off to a good start, and I think that's what we do at the Boys and Girls Clubs, is give kids a great start.
I would get the same thing, I think, out of it that you might see if you knew the recipient. When these girls, guys that are veterans for this country have hit a point where they might need a dog for post-traumatic stress or for physical disabilities, and you actually put a dog in their hands, or a child with autism whose family has gotten to the point where they're drawing straws. I mean, there's so many things going on a daily basis that if you can improve 2 or 3 things, or you can make a little bit more independent life for them, that you see this glowing response coming from a veteran that you thought had hit rock bottom, or a child that was not being able to go into public anymore, being able to do things that they didn't get to do before. It is the most rewarding, energetic feeling that you're ever going to get in the world. And if you were the brother of that veteran, you'd see it, you'd feel it. That's what we feel putting a dog with.
I think one of the most gratifying things is, and it's just being able to interact with other people. You can always go to a political rally and you run around with people that talk politics, but if you go to the coffee shop or a farm bureau meeting, you talk farming. You know, I think in my world, when I'm in Des Moines, that's all we do, talk politics. So you come back home and you get to run into somebody, and you can always just approach somebody, you know, how much rain did you get the other night, and they'll tell you how much they got, when it started raining, when the first thunder and lightning was. So just being able to interact with the other farmers and get to know them, and the folks that are going to be your neighbors, and that's something that's so important, and why I'm so happy to live in rural Iowa, is, you know, you've got neighbors that you can count on each other, and we all have that. But in farming, you know, you always have that farmer that may say, hey, I need help doing this, and you go and help them, and so you get to have those relationships with people that are closer than maybe just a next door neighbor that you wave to when you get the mail.
A hero to me is someone who's selfless, who thinks of others before themselves. And in, I suppose, easy terms, that would be volunteers, and putting as much of their efforts and energies and resources into the community as they can. I think someone who volunteers their time is giving away the most precious commodity they have. I would say get involved in the community. The rewards you will get from trying to help your community, be a place where others want to come, to be a place where you feel like you've contributed to the growth of a community, is extremely satisfying.
In the position I'm at, I want to be out and you know, getting a feel for what's going on in the community, but also getting a feel for of how I can help. And I do see this in our aging populations in our rural communities. Those volunteers are older people, and where are the younger people coming in? And I'm not one of the younger ones anymore. As I am involved in some other groups, I sat in a meeting with Brian Eddy, who was a winner from Independence a couple of years ago, and I said to Brian, I go, we're not the young people anymore. And it's nice to see the early 20-somethings to late 20-somethings stepping up and getting involved. We'd like to see more of it, but you know, we have to help nurture that as we go along.
My advice to young people is to get involved. I really think that it's important for them to get active, to stay active, to find groups and organizations that they feel strongly about, that they enjoy being a part of. I think that really helps shape them, makes them who they are. that's one of the reasons why I like to be involved. I like to set that example for my children, showing them that it's important to give back to your community and finding those groups that you like to be a part of, that you feel strongly about.
It proves that, you know, the things I'm involved with, the amount of time and energy I spend out with clients, helping the community, whether it's growing, bringing in new businesses, or helping strong community, strong businesses here expand, do whatever they need to do. But it's humbling to know that some of my peers have voted me for this award. Not be complacent. You know, go out, be adventurous. You know, do things that are fun to you, but you know, have the ability to just get out of your shell and go out and enjoy life. And you know, whether it's through sports or entertainment or whatever, or you know, it could be through community giving as well.
Young leadership is very important. I look at it very similar to the way that I look at a campus. And I tell students every day when I'm working with them that they're the ones that can make change on a campus. They're the ones that, if they have something they would like to see happen, whether it's a new program they'd like to see or something that they want to make sure that the institution understands that they value, they make that change happen. And the similar things happen within the community. It's that young, engaged leadership that can really be the moving and the shaking within local communities. So I think it's very, very important for myself and many others to try to get as involved as they're able to.
I think that leadership at any level is really important. You know, you say that we're young, and I think that's wonderful, but I think we all need to be leaders in our community. You know, I mean, I really appreciate the opportunities where I get to talk to people that are from different generations younger than me. They're doing amazing things even. You know, children of my, children around my children, they're having fundraisers all of their own accord, things that they just feel passionate about. People my age that are getting involved and taking time out of their lives. I think that, you know, monetary gifts are so nice and needed in our community, but people that are able to give of their time and really support things are also just as valuable.
I guess it means that people have recognized the things that I thought I was doing under the radar. So I'm not necessarily doing things in the community for recognition, but it's definitely an honor to be recognized for those things. I just do things in the community because it's the right thing to do. Find a passion and follow your passion. Ask questions as much as you can of people that you look up to. If there's something that you want to do, I wanted to be a teacher since before I went to school, and I never wavered from that until I won't even say until, because I feel like I'm still a teacher. I don't necessarily have to do it in the classroom. I just learn different ways to do it. So whatever it is, your passion, whatever your dreams are, that you should follow them and find people to help you do it.
It's more about my team, I guess, and my family. You know, it's not necessarily about me, because without a strong team behind you or a strong family, no individual person, I don't think, is anything without that. So I think getting involved with the youth, I think, is very important to have some positive role models. So anything that I can do to help the youth go on the right path is what I want to do.
I think it's a nice affirmation of everything I've tried to get up every day and do. I mean, it's when you are in a volunteer organization, you know, you don't do it for the glory or the fame or anything like that, but it's nice to have the affirmation of, you know, being nominated, and that there's appreciation. It means a lot when you're doing that. So you have to find your way, and you really do that through just doing things. You know, you have to take some chances. You have to, and that's where volunteering is so important. You have to try and test the waters a little bit here and there, and you do that enough, you're going to find your niche where you're particularly gifted, and be able to make that contribution to your fullest extent.
I think time is always an interesting thing. Most people, when you're approached, sometimes that's the big struggle, is you don't think you have the time. But I really would encourage and reach out to people to accept those challenges when they're asked. Hopefully they get those personal acts. That's what I found through the different organizations I volunteer with, is sometimes people may not think something's for them, or may not have thought they had something to contribute, but when they're personally asked, they kind of put themselves out there and are at least willing to try it. So that's part of it. But as far as the time, it's amazing that once you're passionate about something and you can see kind of the fruits of your labor, the end result, how motivating that is, and the satisfaction that you get from it. So yes, although I volunteer and those hours can kind of can rack up and cause you to kind of rearrange your schedule sometimes, I guess I feel like I'm the lucky one, because in the end I get the satisfaction of seeing that work again come to fruition.
I think I just live vicariously through my students. I think ever since I was a kid, I really just wanted to change the world, make it better, whatever it was that I was going to do. And I know my parents would be like, you know, you don't have to see the world with rose-colored glasses. Like, the world can be a big, scary place, and it can be mean. But I just always try and see the good in people and the good out of the situation. And you know, there are other people out there that can change the world. I just get to be a little piece of it, and so I'm okay with that. And I feel motivated when my students are happy, when my students succeed, when my students learn something new.
You know, it's always challenging when, you know, there's constantly things that you're up against that make you feel like you just want to give up. But you know that in most cases, the people that are greatly successful are the ones that get really close, and then they don't give up. It's just that last few inches or last few feet that they drive and helps them get there. And I think that, you know, if you're committed to whatever you do and you want to become an expert and you study the subject area, whatever it is, and you really just, you put all that you have into it and stay the course and stay committed to it, you're naturally going to become successful.
I talk to a lot of young people. I talk to a lot of classes, a lot of students that, they think, I just don't have a lot to give, my skill set isn't great, or I don't have a lot of time. And I'm obviously a big supporter of volunteer work. I think it's very important. I think that's kind of how you learn your passion in life. If I wouldn't have been a volunteer at some point, I would have never gotten into working with kids for a living. It's all about exposure.
I think the importance is to start young. I mean, we've already started with our children, just teaching them that, that's the right thing to do to help other people, and it helps you get to know people in the community for later in life. But I think you have to make the time, and you have to want to give back, and you have to want to serve others. But there are many organizations that are out there that allow you to do that. I think the most important is finding what is important to you and what you enjoy and it's pretty easy to give.
Starting out their careers would be just just go for it. I mean, specifically, if you're talking about starting a business or entrepreneurship, I'd say just if you have an idea, don't let your age or not having enough money or whatever, just find out a way and just go for it. So that's kind of what I would say to anybody aspiring to be a business owner or work for a growing company.
The interesting thing about Alzheimer's is that they really retain their basic personality, and they still have a lot to tell us. They still have a lot they can do, and as far as staying motivated, working with the residents, that's easy because you know their personality, and you can just adapt to them. And my family is just a fantastic motivation for me. Spirituality, so just being willing to be present there every day, and if you show, you come into work and you have problems getting motivated in this type of environment, I would say it's just probably not the thing for a person to be doing, because it's pretty easy to stay motivated, I think.
I knew. I knew from day one. When I started to compete and I started to get into it, it's like the sport just took a hold of me, and it was from day one. There was something else inside me, and I knew that I wanted to coach. I knew that I wanted to be able to pass that on to other kids. I knew I wanted to be able to help make them better men, and to help them grow and to help them realize goals and dreams. There's nothing better than that. It's a new challenge every day. I come into the office and it's not the same day any day. Because you're dealing with unique individuals, and you're trying to get the most out of them. So, to me, that's exciting because it's a challenge to figure it out and to keep them in line, to figure out how the training things. It just, I guess it's something that's not stopped to figure out. But I had never had down my mind that I wanted to coach, and this is what I want to pour my life into. I can't think of anything better that I could do with my time, and the platform that I'm on, how I can have an incredible impact on these guys for the rest of their life. That's pretty powerful.